spotlight now on the performing arts sector. Now, everywhere, this sector has taken one of the biggest blows from the coronavirus pandemic. Music, theatre and other performances have been cancelled and artists rendered jobless. Joining us now to explain whether the performing arts sector still has a role to play in the coronavirus crisis is singer, poet and playwright and producer Mbuso Khoza. Khoza, good evening and thank you for your time. African music, ahead of Africa Day, hailed as a tool to uplift but also to connect the world. But is there a bigger role that the sector can play, especially now with the global pandemic?
As we all know, music has the power to culturally, morally, and emotionally influence our society. So the more intentional we become with sounds, messages, and moods we create through the music that we release, I think there's a lot that it can do and the impact that it can have to our societies.
Now, with the lockdown and, of course, the industry being hard hit, many artists have been emphasizing the financial aspect of the art that has suffered. But what about the content itself and some of the delivery avenues that are available? For example, theatre. You know, theatre, you need to be in the room. There's the ambience. There are acoustics that come with it. Has this in any way compromised the value of the product?
I think now we need to try to operate within the parameters of the existing standards. It means we need to turn theatres into visual. We need to turn our concerts into visual. So that now the challenge is with e-data. E-data has become a currency in South Africa. So now if you were to make someone pay to watch you and also use their data, I think that's where the problem is. If we were to unpack that, but I think art as e-sector still stand a lot to gain from all of this if we position ourselves accordingly.
Let's go back to the finance question now. The type of music that comes out, many say, is influenced, of course, by what is selling at the time and therefore somewhat the advent of bubblegum music. And people said, no, it was watered down music because of the financial consideration. It needed to sell more. It needed to push more units. Right now, though, with money being very scarce as far as gigs are concerned, has the idea of finances in any way limited artists from carrying out their cultural duty and their educational duty?
I think these are interesting times. They are going to test a lot of artists if they have a substance or not. So this will make us to relook at the lifestyle as well and say all the things that we used to show off as artists were really not necessary. We need to become human beings and be the servant of your community. If you are an artist, I think you need to be reminded that you are an ambassador of your country. Therefore, we need to have means to work together with the government on how can we come up with ways to bring about stability in terms of the finances in this sector. But we need to dismantle that celebrating mentality and become the servants of the communities.
With Africa Day around the corner, what would be the influence of this pandemic in the productions that we're going to see? And what does it mean about artists redefining themselves going forward?
I think the problem now is that Africans are going to lose themselves in the process of focusing on corona. I think my message would be, let us try and focus on who we are and find means to fight against COVID-19, but without losing ourselves in the process of all these challenges we're facing.